Hello everyone and welcome to the Starseed Dragon channel. This is, are we recording? Yeah, this is an Oracle review. I actually got this a couple weeks ago, but I've been a little bit busy packing up some things and taking care of other stuff in my life. This is the Illustrated Herbiary Collectible box set by Maia. We've done the Bestiary one. I actually got this on Walmart.com, and I will put a link in the description box to where I found it. I'm not sure if Walmart.com is accessible to everyone, but who'd have thunk Walmart.com would have tarot decks? Who'd have thunk? But I was searching for the collectible box set. They do have just the Herbiary, just the deck on Amazon, but I wanted the collectible box sets. I'm still looking for the Crystallary collectible box set to review because you know, it's a series, right? So let's check this out. It's a big box. You can do it. Open, open, open. Don't hassle me, box. There we go. Okay, beautiful book. It is a hardcover, just like the Bestiary, which is beautiful. So, to the wild ones and the mythic souls who walk amongst us unseen, and to Gina McGarry for teaching me to listen for them. How beautiful. Lovely. So obviously this deck is about different herbs. I'm just going to the Herbiary. Okay. So first one will be Chickweed, and I'm just going to read the description. They do have a notice the micro world and look for little stars. I'm not going to read those parts. Just the description. And how beautiful is this? So I'm sure that I will be using these in our intuitive practices. Comes with a beautiful little silk bag there. And when I do the our little intuitive exercises on the perspective readings, I will read all of the description and the additional pages individually. It's just easier that way. So let's see what our measurements are here. Approximately 5 inches or, what is that, 12 centimeters? By, let's see, about 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. So let me just open this up. It's got gold gildings. Look at that. Pretty. I know a lot of people don't. I'm a southpaw. Oh, I can't help it. I was born that way. A lot of people don't like seeing left-handed people with sharp objects in their hand. Because we have a tendency to do everything backward according to the right-handed world around us. Okay. So, here's the back of them. And it looks like it's going backwards. Maybe? I don't know. Let's see. glasses on here. It looks like they're alpha. Yeah, maybe not. Not alphabetical. Well, good thing it says the pages on it. So I guess we'll just do it that way, shall we? Let me just, since it has gold gilding, I will just see if I can separate them a little bit. Because you know, when cards have gilding, they tend to stick at the edges. This is, it's not a shiny, it's more of a matte finish, but it does have a little bit of sheen to it. They're nice feeling cards. They're not too thick, not too thin. So they should be pretty shuffleable. Shuffleable? Is that a word? Okay, let's get started. I'm just lengthening the video, aren't I? Okay. Let's get started. So we shall go. Page 32, Apple. Because why not? 32. Okay, forbidden fruit, apple. Apple has been given grief since in the beginning, when she learned that feeding people and teaching them to know themselves can be a dangerous thing. She became associated with snakes, shame, and fig leaves, and it's been all dance lessons, curtsies, and domestication from there. Apple is the witch of the wildwood, forced to clean up and come in for a tea. But a skirt and pumps can't hide her knowledge of the circling stars and cycling seasons, the deep loom of the earth and the warm weep of a summer rain. We may think that we've tamed wild apple and brought her to heel, but even quasi-domesticated, she still gifts us with the sweetness of understanding ourselves. Apple asks, what have you forbidden yourself? Interesting. Okay. There we go. And we have Sweet Violet, page 28. Inner Sanctum, Sweet Violet. Sweet, sweet violet sings of sun and springtime, carpeting meadows and lawns with lush purple petals. But this glorious show is mere flirtation. Her true abundance comes in autumn, when quietly, with little fanfare, she shares her seed with the earth, setting the stage for next spring's performance. Violet has no trouble separating public from private. She knows both have their place and season. She's the gossip column socialite who quietly works in a soup kitchen on Wednesdays, knowing life's most important work isn't always done in the public eye. How beautiful is that? Okay, let's see. Rosemary, one of my favorites. And that is page 156. Remembrance, rosemary. Rosemary is the smell of déjà vu and the afterbreath of nostalgia. Her gift is the faint scent that teases and vanishes, leaving you longing for something you can't quite name, with memories that crust and crash, pull you gasping into their undertow. In Victorian times, rosemary was said to say, remember me. This is but a small part of her magic. Rosemary can ease remembrance, softening sharp edges, or she can dredge the distant past, pulling on your DNA to bring forward the longings of lineage. Crush the leaves, hold them to your nose. The past is encoded into our cellular memory. Rosemary whispers, sink into the knowledge that lives in your bones. Let memory rise up from the body of your being. Beautiful. Red Clover, let's see, 24. You know how I hate flipping back and forth through a book, so this is a task, definitely. Center and ground, red clover. This commonly cultivated forage crop feeds horses, cows, sheep, goats, and just about anything else humans keep at pasture. She plants your feet on the ground, 2 or 4, it doesn't matter to her, while encouraging you to run a few miles or dive into that art project you've been avoiding. Red Clover wants you to get moving, in body and in spirit. She loves grounded action and will happily bolster your courage, from the Latin word cor, which means heart. When you're acting from a strong center, so you can step out and move forward. Bold but not rash, red clover gets your blood up so you can show up fully. Beautiful. Lavender, my favorite. Let's see. Love the tiger. Page 96. Tough love, lavender. People think lavender is soft, useful for shaping quiet space and calming rowdy children, but beneath her powdery scent is a hint of menthol. Smell it? That bite at the back of your palate? While lavender appears to be the down-to-earth and gracious grandmother who will soothe your soul and sing you to sleep, you're living a rare and blessed life if that's all you ever need from her. If circumstances should change, call on lavender. She handles emergencies with military precision, keeping a cool head and a stout heart. She'll make a fine spy, field nurse, or a leader of the resistance, cloaking her steely strength under a sloppy gray bun and the familiar scent of summer. When lavender appears, it's time to ground yourself and dig into the task at hand. Tulsi, page 148. Okay, page 148. You are sacred, Tulsi. Tulsi, also called holy basil, is traditionally planted in a special pot by the front door of homes in South Asia. This holiest of plants, thought of alternately as a household deity and a manifestation of the goddess Lakshmi, 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 brings heaven to earth. Her spicy scent reminds you to be aware of the unseen, of spirit flowing in and out. Tulsi says you're strongest when you let Spirit help you adapt to the ups and downs of daily life. If you befriend Tulsi, she might give you a further message. Your spirit flows through your physical form, and so your soul is fed through your body's senses. You might wear Tulsi beads around your neck to remind you that you are the home for your spirit and you are sacred. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful rose. Page 56. Crack open rose. Yes, that's Rose sighs as she contemplates Rainier Maria Rilke's take on relationships. Rose adores poetry, but despite popular belief, she simply can't countenance mushy love. Rose knows that to experience love in full, you need to be a strong vessel while at the same time cracking open. A contradiction? No, more a contradiction than flowers and thorns, murmurs are no more than a contradiction than flowers and thorns, murmurs Rose. Rose reminds you to embrace dualities and say both and instead of either or. Once the realization is accepted that even between the closest human beings, infinite distances exist, a wonderful living side by a wonderful living side by side can grow if they succeed in loving the distance between them, which makes it possible for each to see the other whole against the sky. Rainier Maria Rilke, Letters to a Young Poet. Isn't that gorgeous? You can do it. Okay. Let's see, page 76. Resurrection, California Poppy. Sometimes the day needs to disappear so you can sink into the lush blackness of night. Sometimes your eyes, whether open or shut, need the inky darkness of forgetting. Golden Poppy lives in both sun and shadow. She opens her petals in daylight and closes them when night comes, giving in easily, knowing resurrection will come with the dawn. It's okay to sleep without dreaming. Poppy soothes to fall deep and far. Have no fear. Day will come and you'll once again stretch and unfurl. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh, Starflower. 92. Okay, let me get to 92. Here we go. Finding Grace. Starflower. Some call this plant by her more common name, borage, but she prefers Starflower, and wouldn't you? Her blue star-shaped petals shine among the garden's more usual yellows and pinks, shimmering yet understated, like an old-time movie starlet. Starflower shares a timeless philosophy with these legends of the silver screen. Grace isn't something you keep for yourself, she tells us. Grace, Starflower knows, is a gift you give over and over again to the world around you. If you're thoughtful, caring, and true, grace develops a patina over time, becoming wisdom, cradling those lucky enough to be in your presence? How can you let a little more grace into your life? Isn't that gorgeous? Starflower. Daisy. 20. Page 20. Coming on to 20 here. Be yourself. Daisy. Daisy comes from a huge family. Her sisters, chamomile, echinacea, boneset, elecampane, feverfew, and milk thistle, to name just a few, are among our greatest healers. Luckily, Daisy learned early on that the best way to distinguish herself was simply to be herself. So despite her tomboy appearance, with white petals often tatty or rumpled, and her status as the most common of medicines, she'll heal a bruise and quiet inflammation, but nothing like her cousin, Arachna Montana. She's a favorite guest. She persistently finds her way into our homes and gardens to remind us over and over again that loving ourselves as we are is the very best medicine. Daisies are my favorite, my ultimate favorite flower. Love it. Let's see. Okay. Good. Page 136. Defying gravity. Reishi. Reishi mushroom is the Yoda of the plant world, helping you assimilate life's experiences and turn them into wisdom. The Taoists teach that Reishi can show you where your power lies, which some might call your destiny. Reishi is not some soft, clingy mushroom, but instead a strong, structured, gravity-defying shelf. She asks no less from you. How can you defy anything keeping you from finding meaning, purpose, and health? Like all the best teachers, Reishi points to the path that lets you walk it, taking your lumps and bumps along the way. She doesn't want you to rely on her strength. She wants you to find your own. But you're willing to do the work. But if you're willing to do the work, Reishi will help you transform from the inside out. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Chickweed. Let's see, what is it? Page 16. That was our first one, wasn't it? It is. It is our first one. Start fresh. Chickweed. Chickweed sings of bright beginnings, welcoming you to your path. Her tiny star-like flowers whisper, "It's time." Not sure you're ready? No worries. Gently, she'll break cells open, renewing energy and life. Chickweed reminds you, wherever you are is a fine place to begin. She'll joyously demonstrate by tumbling from any possible place for new growth, from neglected farmstead flower pots to abandoned urban planters. She chips away at old ideas on a foundational level, opening your internal windows to let in fresh thoughts, slothing off what no longer serves. What's keeping you from making the changes you crave? Perhaps you've been hauling around slowly accredited insecurities or anger's quicksilver flame. See who you are without those burdens. She suggests, smiling as she guides you to begin. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Okay, Passion Flower, 140. Back of the book again. Okay, it's okay. Okay, ooh. Exuberant Quietude, Passion Flower. Passion Flower is a study on opposites. She climbs vigorously, some say invasively, sending exploring fingers through fence slats and wall crevices. What's over there, she wonders, always trying to get to the other side, to expand beyond her current boundaries. Even her flower exudes frenetic energy, vibrantly bursting out into the world. Every inch of Passion Flower is reaching, striving, and climbing, and yet her medicine is the magical calm that opens when the television, computer, and phone are all suddenly silent. She begs you to pause in your questioning and take the time for new experience, inner quietude. Why? Because being able to be quiet and still is Passion Flower's secret to exuberant expansion without stress or burnout. Let's see, it's page 72. Page 72. Okay. Release rigidity. Valerian. Who doesn't love Valerian? Valerian stands tall in the garden, her stem stiff to compensate for a hollow core. But don't let her upright stance fool you. Valerian dreams of being a cat. In her efforts to become more mammalian, she's evolved an animal-like oil that acts as perfume to those with feline proclivities, while smelling like sweaty gym socks to the rest of us. Why a cat, you ask? Valerian's been watching felines and has come to the gleeful conclusion that cats are rather shameless and more content because of it. She asks you to aspire to a life free of self-flagellation and daily degenerations. Valerian begs you to relax your armored body, your stiff thoughts, your rigid emotions, and then join her for a shameless afternoon nap. Gorgeous. Love it. Let's see, page Raspberry 60. Page 60. Okay. Create space. Raspberry. Raspberry is Rose's younger sister, sweet and wild, but also steady-handed. She loves the earth and its smallest creatures, so her ebullient branches twist and crawl, creating nests for birds and sanctuaries for snails. She'll rock wee babies and scurry about with toddlers, rarely giving in to the gravitas that permeates most members of her family. Laughter floats through her leaves as she flexes and twists. You too can be like this, she says, demonstrating pliability earned by drinking deeply of mineral-rich soil. Sit with her and she'll share with you the secret of weaving space and creating strong containers for the emptiness that new life needs in order to thrive. When raspberry appears, look to how you are or aren't nurturing space within. Quaking Aspen, page 128. Being from Colorado, we know the beautiful aspen quite well. We are one quaking aspen. Despite the trembling of her leaves, Aspen isn't really scared. How do I know? Because deep underground, all the aspens hold hands. To our eyes, aspen trees are individuals, but in their roots and hearts, they're one. This is not mere metaphor. Aspens grow in what's called a clonal colony, sending out underground suckers to find a lovely spot to sprout a sister tree. Aspen groves are among the largest and oldest single organisms in or on the planet. When you see aspen quivering, it's often with laughter. She giggles gently at the human race, who seem to have forgotten that deep in our roots, we too are one. Aspen asks us to root into this sense of connection so we can let go of our fears. So gorgeous. Mugwort. Let's see, page 80. Between dreams, Mugwort. Mugwort lives in the space between deep rest and waking. She's the daughter of moonlight and protector of those who travel the dream time. Mugwort curls around your mind, whispering your dreams into words and images that you can clutch as you climb levels of consciousness and return to your waking self. While Mugwort's constant vigil makes her a bit waspish and bitter, she knows the many layered worlds and can guide you through the serpentine paths of the collective unconscious. Call on her to guide you through dreams or journey work. If Mugwort appears to you, she's calling you to dip into these subtler realms. Gorgeous. Trillium, page 120? 120. Okay. Spirit into matter, Trillium. Trillium is a rare jewel brightening the forest floor, quietly watching the darkness. She's not waiting for ghouls or ghosts. She fears nothing in these dim-lit woods. No, Trillium is waiting on the first fleeting sparks of new life. Come, she says, drawing you deeper into the consciousness of the trees. Let's see what shall be born. While she's been awaiting births for millennia, Trillium's recently developed her invisibility, quietly blending into leaf mulch and fern patches, the dark places where ideas are incubated. On the edge of the abyss of all that and nothing, she's ready to ease the transition from spirit to matter. Trillium helps with births. She often sees the first spark when other eyes still see darkness. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. This is a really nice deck, as is the Bestiary. If you haven't seen the Bestiary review, you should check that out. I'll probably link it at the end somewhere. At the end, probably. Since I don't know how to do the little card thingies just yet. Okay. Yarrow. We love Yarrow. Page 108. 108. Pockets of protection. Yarrow. In older times, Yarrow traveled with warriors. While her official job was staunching wounds, keeping the insides in and the outsides out, her presence brought bravery to the soldiers she kissed. Today, she has much the same task. Yarrow assists you in keeping your boundaries, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. She creates personal pockets of protection so you can slow down, gather your strength, and find your courage. Yarrow reminds you that boundaries are not just for keeping the outside from coming in, but also for keeping yourself from leaking out. Letting thought and emotions run rampant in the world. Yarrow will create a bubble of protection, a bit of sacred space within which you can regroup, regenerate, and recreate yourself. Beautiful. Yarrow is so beautiful. All right. Hawthorn. Let's see, page 64. Back and forth and back and forth. Okay. Worth it, I think. What do you think? 64. Okay. Heart's home, Hawthorn. Hawthorn remembers a time when local gods watched over knolls and wells, frolicking and making mischief in her branches. She remembers her limbs hung with strands of beads glittering in the sun and scraps of fabric fluttering in the wind like prayer flags. Offerings to the land itself and to the gods who kept alive the vital conduit between spirit and matter. Those days are mostly past, but Hawthorn holds the portals open, knowing these inner connections provide true nourishment to keep the heart whole. If Hawthorn appears for you, strengthen your heart and guard it from homesickness by tending the connections between the spirit realms and material world. This is such a great deck. I really like this Maia tool. I might have 3 of her decks. No, I think I only have 2, maybe 3. Definitely 2. I really like her a lot. Let's see. Selfheal, page 40. Okay. Page 40 it is. Oh. That's it. Ripple outward, self-heal. Pretty, pretty prunella, my teacher used to murmur to this tiny flower with fuzzy leaves and a snapdragon face. Prunella, or self-heal, is a wee thing, small in the way of butterflies, whose flapping wings can stir a hurricane half a world away. Like a pebble dropped in a pond, self-heal ripples outward, allowing healing to begin. She reminds you that one properly placed shift, no matter how small, creates concentric circles of effect, each amplifying change. Self-heal knows how to find this center from which all else flows. Ripple out from here, she whispers, as she helps you discover the secret of your own true healing. If self-heal appears for you, it's time to drop your pebble in the pool. Beautiful. So we have Lady's Mantle, page 88. Fortitude, Lady's Mantle. Lady's Mantle will be there when you're ready to wrap a blanket around your shoulders. Call in her protection and enter the dark forest. She whispers, "You can make it through this lifetime. Your soul is whole, and no matter what pains or abuse the physical world throws at you, you have integrity of spirit." She's particularly wise in cases of trauma, murmuring the names of the roads that will carry you through and out of those dark woods. Lady's Mantle doesn't demand, she waits, knowing you'll find both bravery and fortitude within. She never loses faith in your strength, and with her help, neither will you. That is gorgeous. I love it. Plantain. I've heard of plantains. Page 68. Rewild, Plantain. If you let her, Plantain will share stories of wagon trains and ocean crossings and Alexander's shenanigans in Egypt. Given a glance, she'll make a traveler of you too, drawing you gently out of your comfort zone, moving you from safe to the edge of the wild, pushing the boundaries of civilized behavior, and laughing at your scruples. It will start with a small thing. Plantain might offer a leaf to ease a sting or the itch of poison ivy. Just chew it and spit it on the bite, she'll encourage. Great Aunt Hilda would have a heart attack, you think? While your inner wild child smiles gleefully at this baby step away from civilized. Beautiful. Rewild. St. Johns Wort. 116. Light in the darkness. St. Johns Wort. Truth? St. Johns Wort is scraggly and scrappy, completely lacking the charisma one would expect from an herb reputed to tame depression in a single bound. But that's her beauty. She's a magician and a thief, not the belle of the ball. She knows how to steal the heat from summer's solstice sun, hold it in her flowers, and make it last all winter long. This is her greatest trick, bringing light and warmth to your darkness by helping to recreate the electric leap of synapses firing and energy moving along. Call on St. Johns Wort when you need a sip of sunshine so you can find your light in the darkness. Okay, so what do we have here? Oats, page 112. Just be Oats. Shh, shh, shh. Oat murmurs as you run your hands over her tops. Shh, shh, she says as the wind picks up, trying to ruffle Oats' ever-present calm. If the breeze continues, she'll gently chide. Chai, chai, chai. But that's all the reaction you'll get as she rubs shoulders with her sisters, laughing quietly and murmuring that all really is well, despite what the wind, the radio waves, or the internet has to say. When you slip into stress, Oats smiles gently and runs her fingers through your hair. Stop grappling endlessly with your thoughts, she whispers. Soften to the wind, be open to the sky, and ground yourself in earth to know the truth of this one precious moment. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So wise. Let's see. Are you stuck? Yeah. Okay. Marshmallow. Page, what is it? 104? A spoonful of sugar. Marshmallow. There's nothing a marshmallow would love more than to spend time in your kitchen. She'll lean over your shoulder offering suggestions for adorning your salads and thickening your soups. There's no reason for foul-tasting anything, including medicine, declares the grand dame of dessert. She should know, having been at it since around 2000 BCE. Egypt, dear, she'll tell you, a lovely place. I fed pharaohs and gods. But Marshmallow's not one to dwell on the past. She takes too much joy in bringing ease to the present. And there's much work to do. Digestion these days, she tisks, as she sets about creating her latest confection. Call on Marshmallow when you need to soften and rediscover sweetness. Gorgeous. Next card. Ooh, time. I love time. Page 44. Here we go. Distill yourself. Time. Mythology teaches that a minotaur haunts the labyrinth of your psyche. As you walk toward your center, this monster prowls and roars, trying to scare you off your path by revealing your fears and inadequacies. But you're never truly alone. You have allies like time, her scent purifying your thoughts so you can see what's true. Time kills off what's other, whether that's germs and microbes or thoughts and feelings. This is Time's special magic. She calls your inner flame to burn the dross, distilling your spirit. Intuitively, she knows you from not you, and she sees you clearly when you cannot. Time is a powerful plant. Do not call on her unless you're truly ready to be tempered in her flame. Very true. She is all about truth. Mullen, 132. 132. Is it Mullen or Mullen? 132. Go into 132. We'll figure it out later. Interrogation. Mullen. Mullen appears where she's needed and has trouble staying where she's not. Because of her penchant for moving about over the years, she's learned quite a bit about quite a bit, making her a wise guide on any journey. Mullen brings multifaceted understandings into alignment with each other, easily building intellectual bridges between seemingly disparate or disjointed things, because her gift is seeing the structure of the whole. She'll sing the relationship of bone to water or air to skin in a way that makes you wonder how you never saw those patterns for yourself. Call on Mullen when you need a torch in the darkness or an overview of the world so you can understand the parts. Beautiful. And a beautiful flower. I wonder if it's a climber. What do you think? Is it a vine? Does anybody know what that is? White willow. Let's see, 124. Okay. The ways of water. White willow. Most people think of willow as graceful and soft, a beautiful tree with weak wood. She's happy to let you have your delusions, but underground she sends her expansive roots questioning for water, the element of emotion, which feeds her extraordinary flexibility. Willow loves to dunk her feet, sampling the flow of feelings, tasting anger and joy, sorrow and sass. Pliancy allows her to have great empathy without becoming overwhelmed by the emotions of others. Instead, they flow through her like water. If you find yourself amoring up to handle high emotions, call on Willow to teach you the ways of water. Beautiful. Who doesn't love willow trees? They're so beautiful. Okay. Burdock, page 52. Okay. 52. Getting there. Okay. Tap your resources. Burdock. You know the burrs that get matted into your dog's coat in autumn? The ones that prick your fingers and refuse to come untangled? That's Burdock. She's a tireless companion, and yes, she sticks with you, cheering you on when you're running low on steam or self-esteem, or recovering from a lingering ailment. Burdock's a nurturer, building you up with gentle sweetness and asking nothing in return. Her taproot runs deep. Once she sets her sights on breaking up crusty soil or sifting old habits, she's persistently relentless. She's the friend of your childhood, the one you could always count on to have your back. Trust me, she says, all will be well. Beautiful. Vervain, 152. Let magic in. Vervain. Vervain whispers of enchantment and worlds not quite seen. She'll teach you to see beyond the ordinary and help you explore the liminal lands of the psyche. Through her easy access to the in-between, she can call in the medicine of plants not present, making her a must for any healer's garden. Ask Vervain to channel her sisters and hold their place in a tea blend or incense. But remember, even though she is wispy, Vervain is powerful. A sip of her tea is magical, a cup of nauseating. Why? Because too much mystery pulls us off balance. Think of it as motion sickness of the soul. So let Vervain dance lightly on the edges of your consciousness, reminding you of the infinite possibilities that unfold when you let magic in. Very good. Small doses. Small doses. Good. Okay. Here we go. Comfrey. Page, was it 100? What needs mending? Comfrey. Comfrey loves to mend. Skin, bones, soil, there's so much to do. She dives deep, magicking molecules, rebuilding broken chains, restacking cells into tissue and tissue into muscle. This is joyous work for Comfrey, so she tends to work quickly, sometimes too quickly. Her boldness can border on recklessness. And in her mad scientist exuberance, she can get ahead of herself and forget first steps. Comfrey is a reminder to work systematically, starting with the deepest layers and working your way out. Even creative endeavors need to be built on a solid foundation. If Comfrey appears, ask what needs mending, and then pause to assess and plan before diving in. Beautiful. Elderberry. 84. I've never had an elderberry. Have any of you had elderberry? What am I looking for? Page 84. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm curious about this elderberry. Cyclicality. Elderberry. Elderberry traditionally lives at the center of the garden, telling stories of winters past and springs yet to come. Though often scraggly and a questionable centerpiece, her three faces embody the goddess. Maiden in the spring, abundant with white petals. Mother in the summer, when wine-red berries adorn her branches. And crone in autumn, when her leaves are falling away. She looks quite dead in winter, all bare branches and hollow bones. Elderberry's yearly evolution teaches you to dance with the closely twined cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Wherever you are in life, she reminds you that acceptance of life's cyclicality is the key to earning your spot at the garden's center. How beautiful is that? I love it. Let's see. I'm going to have to find some elderberries and try them out, I guess. Are they delicious? Anybody know? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, nettle. Page 144. Who doesn't know about nettle? 144. Pay attention, nettle. If we do not know the names of the plants around us, if we do not acknowledge the individualistic curl of a leaf or creep of a rhizome, they all run together and look like a wall of greenery. That's when we humans start to generalize, lumping anything without a showy flower into the category of weed. Nettle will have none of this. Pay attention, she admonishes. We're all different, all unique. When you acknowledge Nettle's individuality and treat her with thoughtful respect, she'll let you close. But forget yourself and you won't forget her sting. Nettle reminds you to see individuality and treat the world around you accordingly. If nettle is prickling you, pause and pay greater attention. Nettle, nettle, nettle. Are we having an issue here? Nope. Okay. What is this gorgeous card? Dandelion 48. I love dandelion. My mother actually used to give me a dandelion milk to help settle my stomach. when I was a child. Perseverance, Dandelion. Dandelion is bold, bright, and sunny. She pushes through cracks in cement and worms her way into the mortar of stone walls, cheerfully. Dandelion's medicine is perseverance, but not the perseverance of the martyr. Instead, Dandelion is the eternal optimist. Like the Fool in the tarot deck, she's always happy to set off on a new adventure in hope of learning more and digging deeper. She's not an airy optimist, though, with no grounding in reality. Her roots are strong. She's the shaman and the Buddha, and her message is this: happiness is an inner landscape that has little to do with where you're planted. When you're ready to make your own joy, whatever life throws at you, call on Dandelion. Beautiful. I love it. Dandelion is adventurous. Do you see all of her little seeds floating around? Isn't that beautiful? Love it. Okay. Are you the last card? Here we are. Last card. Okay. White Sage. Of course it is. Let's see. Page 36. Clear the way. White Sage. Life can be sticky. Members of the Sage clan have been used in a multitude of cultures for clearing the invisible wisps of energy that cling barnacle-like to people and places. Whether you think of those energies as your own spent emotions or the leftover emanations of someone else's, Sage can help you make your peace and move on. Sage is sacred because it clears the way, creating a blank canvas and an open path, allowing you the opportunity to reach your full potential. Sage's appearance tells you that a block needs to be cleared, whether you can name it or not, so you can move forward. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Wow, this is a magical deck indeed. Indeed. I do really enjoy it. Let's see. Oh, it shuffles nicely now. Now that I've unsticked everything. That gold gilding. Gilding is beautiful, and I love gilding on cards, but when cards are brand new, that gilding just sticks them all together at the edges, and you have to work through it. How beautiful is this? Oh, it shuffles just gorgeously. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put this back, so I'll be taking it out shortly so I can bond with it and play with it. I hope that you enjoyed this. It's beautiful. I can't believe I got it on Walmart.com, to be honest with you. Let's see. I probably need to keep this out here so I can close this beautiful book. Beautiful book. Gorgeous. I love it. I really, really like this author. She is really very thoughtful in how she puts together her beautiful decks. So I can't wait to find the third in this series, which I believe is the Crystallary, right? And as soon as I find it, I'll review it. But if you haven't seen the review of the Bestiary, I had bought that one on Mercari used, but it's a gorgeous deck. I use it on a regular basis, and I love it. So I'm really happy to add this to my collection. If this is something that is appealing to you, there is a link in the description box below that will guide you to where I purchased this. And other than that, I hope you have a great day. And if there are any other decks or items that you would like for me to review, let me know in the description box or in the comment section below, so that I can obtain said items. I do have a couple more decks that are oracles that are from an independent person from Etsy. So as soon as I get that bundle, I will review those decks. Other than that, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you on the next video.